So with the business and whatever I do is always just next 3 steps. What are my next 3 steps? Not 5-year goals, nothing like that. Just next 3 steps. What is it right now? So we've had a how much cash collected on £1,700? Yeah, seventeen
Yes.
hundred, right? In how like exactly a month. So now moving forward, everything was from project one. So the sales process for project two will be slightly different because those people would need to be warmed up a bit more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, what basically warming up means is they need to know, like, and trust you. The way that happens is one, you have a very, very clearly defined offer. Number two is you basically have a bit of value content there. Now, I understand because of personal reasons, you don't want to put yourself out there. So, what I can do for you, and I have done in the past to make closes easier, is I can record a VSL for you, video sales there, where I read out your offer, basically explain briefly what your case studies are, and basically kind of give them a bit more certainty. No way to, you're saying basically this guy that you're speaking to, he needs to see your company and he needs to see the website. Here's what I would do. Number one, for the website, it's an easy one. Just go ahead and make one from Canva. It takes 5 minutes. Just anything, just needs to have nothing else other than your offer statement and maybe the VSL that I made for you. Or you can make it yourself as well, right? So
Yeah.
that's all the website needs to be. It's just, he's basically asking, can you give me more certainty? How does he get certainty? He's literally telling me, I need to see some sort of solid proof, some tangible proof that you actually exist, and you're not just kind of trying to scam them, because he has been scammed before. So that's number one, just a normal Canva website. And then after that is done, what we'll do is basically when he asks, hey, what's your company called, etc. You can literally just say, I'm a sole trader. That's it. Like, not everyone has to have a registered limited company. Even because we're in the UK, we're just a sole trader. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
So those are the two things. And then basically, if you want more certainty, when you jump on another call with him, you basically say, hey, I understand you don't want to be scammed. That is why we take all of our payments through PayPal. Because PayPal gives you a 90-day buyer's protection in case I do turn out to be a fraud. I promise you, you will be safe. So that's the way I would handle the certainty part, because all he's trying to get is certainty. Bro, give me certainty that you will actually do what you're saying and you will get me to what I want. Does this part make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So next step would be you asking, should I charge him £5,000? Now, exactly did he say? How much is he making?
So he said he's making 6 figures a month,
He
and
said he's making 6 figures a month.
yeah, and he's closing in on 7 figures. And he was saying that it's around 30% the profit margin.
30% profit margin. Okay.
Yeah.
If he's actually making 6 figures a month, then 5,000 a month should not be any problem. But that's not all that is needed for you to charge 5,000 a month, how much that person is making. What that person just wants is, can I turn this money into more money? That's the whole purpose of marketing. So, what sort of guarantee have you given to him? What's your offer statement?
So the offer statement is me bringing him 10 to 15 clients per month.
10 to 15 clients, and how much, let's say on the higher end, how much could 15 clients mean to him as a tangible number? Like, what would it mean to him?
So he was mentioning about each client, they should be paying him at least I think it was for 15 hours. It was around 300 for the lowest client. So
Right.
he normally takes in people who own offices, people who own schools, hospitals, etc. That he does the work for them.
So £300.
That's the minimum. So if you were to do 300, and then if you were to times that by 15, if you were to get 15 clients, that is
5,000 around that. Let's say around,
yeah.
yeah, whatever. 4,500. Okay, cool. So that's the lower end. And what's the higher end?
The higher end of our estates and hospitals, etc. That would just be based on the contracts that they provide for him, which that could initially, if it goes well, then that could be a lot higher.
Right. Okay. So here's how I would price things, and to make it a no-brainer offer, take what is, realistically So they need to believe that they will achieve it, how quickly they will achieve it, and how much effort they will take for it. So basically, what I mean is, let's take the lower end. Let's say worst case they make 4,500. Um, in this case, I would technically, for what you're promising, 15 clients. Technically, I would charge uh, maybe around 1.5K to make it a no-brainer offer. So as that happens, and if you start working with him and you get him, bigger clients, and he is making way more than 4,500, then you can increase that because it's all based off of value providing, building that relationship. The more they like you, the more they trust you, the more you can kind of renegotiate for the next month and the next month and keep going. Because I know certain people making 50,000 a month from one client. So it's definitely possible as long as they see the value, they see a return. So I would go to him and say, hey, my team and I have discussed, and here's the guarantee that we'll give to you. We'll give you 15 more clients every single month. Um, 15 more clients, that should be around 4,500 pounds. At the worst case, best case, sky's the limit, maybe 10,000 or more. But to make it a bit more easier for you to make a decision, we've kind of put that 5,000 a month price down to just an initial 1,500 a month, cancel anytime. Um, like just for us to get started, see how everything goes. In worst case, if in a couple of months' time you don't really see the value in it and you're not actually getting the results you're eligible for, a full refund will get you those highly qualified leads. Does this make sense? Do you understand how I phrase this?
Yeah, but then because I mentioned 5,000 earlier, and then going all the way down, stooping all the way down to 1,500, would it not seem as though I'm going too low?
Yeah. So depends how you actually stated that one, the 5,000. Because you said let us get things done and then come back to you. You might be able to kind of make up something and say, hey, I had a chat with the team, and considering what you told me about the minimum being 3,000, I mean 300 per client, worst case, we personally find it more better for you. We could have just stuck to 5,000, make it as like you're doing them a favor. um, we could have just stuck to 5,000, and we have plenty of people who would agree to do that. But what we want to do for you is just to start this relationship and hopefully build up to that 5,000. When we're seeing that value and we charge 5,000, we bring you at least 20, 25, 30. But for now, let's say assume worst case we bring you 4,500. I feel like 1,500 would be a pretty reasonable amount per month to just get started and see how it goes. So that's how I would kind of take things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. So that's one. Now mapping out the projects for this is step one. Yeah, you remember at the start I said your next three steps. This is step one. Speak to this guy because you're already having that sales conversation with him. Number two would be you already know project two. Just start doing it. Project two, what we need is because the sales process is way different from project one to project two. We just need that one proof of concept sale. If this guy closes amazing. What we can then do is like basically jump straight onto the automation part where maybe I'll get cold callers to do this. But the reason I'm asking you to do the outbounds yourself right now is because I need you to get that proof of concept. Proof of concept from basically closing that person, how to respond to that niche, what sort of questions they ask, because that better prepares you to then coach your team once I put people under you or help, you kind of automate things. You'll be able to kind of coach them. Okay, I remember these people ask these sort of questions. This is what I need to do. So you need to understand the market. So once you get that first proof of concept closed of at least 800 pounds, that will give us cash to put back into ads. And number two, it will give us confidence that you can definitely close. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
So basically, that's your second step. First step, just continue the conversation with this guy, basically saying to him what I just told you. And number two, is use project two. Let's get as many consultations as possible. As soon as you get that one proof of concept sale, we will either start running ads for you. I will start running ads for you, my agency, or we could just basically start doing cold calling for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Because the only reason is that we just don't have that proof of concept yet from project two, because project one and project two are pretty different. The sales conversations will be way different. So I'd like to have that proof of concept sale, two things, confidence and cash. Do you have any other questions? Are you fully clear?
Yeah, I'm fully committed. But should I put in a clause for this client that I'm trying to work on now? As in when I make him sign the contract, should I say, it'll be binding for 3 months, or shall I just leave it as 1 month and then see how it goes?
Because this guy has been scammed before, and people, people just buy because of feelings. He probably has a bad feeling, because you don't have like a proper company. So you need to make it as simple and easy for him to, be okay with jumping on this. So
Yeah,
technically, I would say, hey, yeah, 3 month retainer. We'll discuss, the 3 month retainers, etc. later on. But for now, this guy, just make it easy for him because he's already been scammed. He needs that bit of certainty. Just say, hey, cancel anytime. Let's see what happens this month. We'll bring you those leads. And the clause would be to make the guarantee valid. Of course, your any business is three things like marketing, bringing new eyeballs or potentially interested people in what you have to offer, and all those potentially interested people, you convert some of them, basically closing them, or not cheesy sales, but like converting them systematically with what I've given to you, the sales structure, kind of finding out where they are, where they need to get to, why can't they do it themselves, and seeing if you can help them out. It's basically helping another human. If you ask them the right question, you'll get to know about them. So basically, going back, you bring them new qualified people. Their job is to do the conversion because you're a marketing agency. Their job is to do the actual delivering, which is the cleaning, right? So all you can do is bring them new and potentially interested people that they wouldn't have had if it wasn't for you. Does that make sense?
yeah,
So you need to make that very clear on the clause that you will bring them those interested people, but they actually need to call them. They need to follow up with them. They need to actually use their conversion process to turn them into clients because you can only bring the highly interested people, but to convert them and deliver is their job. Your job as a marketing agency is just running simple lead form ads. That's the simplest agency, in my experience, to run simple lead form ads. Um, that's pretty much it. Are you with me?
yeah, yeah. Makes sense.
Anything else?
No, that was all.
All right, cool, brother. So are you fully clear on the next two steps?
Yeah, yeah, fully clear.
Cool, brother. Any mindset or anything that you want to discuss? Any doubts?
No, no, that's all. So should I still continue on the cold calling side of things, or should I just wait until this one's closed off?
You keep the momentum going. You keep using Project 2 and you keep the momentum going. Even if you get a client, you never stop because prospecting always needs to go. After you get your first proof of concept sale, we're going to automate that so you don't have to keep doing the prospecting. But prospecting should be a completely kind of non-negotiable thing. As in, you should always be having people develop interest in what you have to offer and what you can do for people. So you never are in that position where you place too much importance on that one person, right? Because that's the worst thing that you can do with doing any sort of business. If they sense that you need them too much, then most likely they won't go ahead and work with you. So the way you get rid of that need is having more opportunities. That's how to actually combat that.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So always be getting more demand. Demand comes from using the Project 2 at the moment. Eventually, it will be through ads or me doing the cold callers for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Cool, brother.
So the person, the client, he had mentioned for me to send my details over to him on email. So what details would I send him? As in the
So,
link to the website.
yes, link to the website. Just make it from Canva. Put your clear guarantee offer statement there, and see if you can record it yourself. Just a Loom video, reading out your offer statement, reading out the results, the media buyers results, and basically relating back to what their desire is. Hey, this is our guarantee. This is the results. These results mean that if we were to put them in place, we would be able to get you those 15 clients that you want. So relate it back to their desires and what they want. Um, that's how we would kind of structure the website. Or you can literally just use a simple Notion site. I've never ever had a fancy website, but always just use a simple Notion site, and that's always been enough.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just like a Notion website. Go on Notion.com and just make a website.
Okay. Yeah. That's fine.
Like, cool with it. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Yeah. So basically, make that website. Uh, Map out that email. Hey, in this email, we're going to show you. Hey, this is how exactly we're going to help you. Put your 3 steps that I put on the offer statement for you. Step 1, step 2, step 3. And then basically say, hey, all payments will be done through PayPal, etc., just to make sure that you feel as comfortable as possible, and then book another call with him. Book another call with him and have that dialogue with him and say all this stuff to him. Okay.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah,
All right, then.
no problem.
So let me know how this goes, and basically, we'll map out your next step from there. So next, we've only mapped out the next two steps because I feel like those are big enough for you to focus on. Usually, I have like next three steps. So the third step can just be vague, because you never know what's happening in business, right? This could happen, that could happen. So having like, these long plans mapped out is literally of no purpose. So have your next one or two steps very clearly mapped out. Third step can be vague. I don't know what's going to happen then. But for now, your next two steps are very clear. This is what you need to do because income is a byproduct of actions. You do these two steps, meaning actions, you will get the result. And then after that, we'll reassess what's going on and then I'll give you your next 2 to 3 steps again. You with
Okay,
me?
yeah, yeah, completely fine.
All right, then, brother. I will message you, inshallah, just to catch up, usual Friday. Uh, do update me how this one goes. And, of course, keep on trying more with Project One if you can kind of leverage other groups or, give like them an incentive for them to refer to other people like this, the two clients that you do have. You can say, hey, if you refer these people, you can get 20% or whatever they pay or whatever the case is. You can be even more kind of generous and give them like 30, 40, 50%. So they have that vested interest to talk about you. And then you can very easily get a six-figure business just off a project one. So I know a lot of people that do that. So it's up to you. That's something you could do as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. But yeah, inshallah, bro, I'll catch you soon, probably around Friday. And do let me know in the meantime if you need anything. Okay?
Okay, no problem.
All right, then. Catch you soon. Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.